Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another video. I'm the card game Philosopher and we're going right into this first place deck profile from the Utoshi Cup. It's my own, luckily. I was lucky enough to win this. And yeah, it was a great tournament. Definitely recommend playing these. So Utoshi, if you hear this, good job streaming it and everything. But let's get into the deck because that's what we're really here for, right? So I played Unions, Exceeds, best deck, Exceed, best deck. Oh, this is definitely one of the tier 1 decks you have to watch out for. And I think it comes out on top with Inner Conflict. The only difficult thing about this is that it's easier to counter. Like Book of Moon and Lost Wind hurts me a lot more than whatever you can side in against Inner Conflict, right? But it is the better deck. Like Inner Conflict is on the downside. It already has to focus on all of its outs against this to actually take the wins, in my opinion. I think this should, with just main decks, win most of the games, though. So, let's get into the first. Your XYZ guys, of course. White Dragon Hat is something I play 2 of. 2 Z Metal Tanks, 3 X Hat Cannon. Quick explanation, because I can't go too deep into this video, into why I play everything. 2 White Dragon Hats. You can get away with playing 1 because you already play like 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of it that you ideally play. But I decided to go 2 because I want to be able to search a second one as well if I draw a second Union Hanger. I don't want a second Union Hanger and the third one to be a dead draw. The third one's already worse enough to have as a dead draw, so we're doing it like this. 2 Z Metal Tanks because of 2 Z Metal Cannons because you can equip those to White Dragon Hat with Union Hanger, and with your ideal opening you need a second one in the deck. So ideally you should have 3 of those, but you're just terrible to draw on their own, so that's why we're only playing 2, and you don't have space to play all of them at 3. And 3 X Hat Cannon because, like, in theory you actually play the least copies of X Hat Cannon because you only play 5 of these, and you play 5 of these and you play 7 of all the other ones. So that's why you try to make up for that fact by playing just 3 of those. And you also need this for like your best fusion, in my opinion. And it's the least awkward one to have on its own. 1800, 1500, that's a gear freed. You can play with that. Then, back to the start, Night Assailant. Of course, the old Vindictive Magician effect, the Man-Eater bug, the fact that flip, destroy monster, that's great. But the real reason you play it in this deck, except for the fact that this is of course an auto spellproof armor and stuff, is its second effect. When sent to the graveyard, you target a flip monster. When sent from your hand to the grave, you target a flip monster, except itself, and return to the hand. But it can be the other Night Assailant, it just can't be that same copy. So this makes sure that as soon as you have 1 in the grave, 1 in the hand, you have an unlimited amount of cards that you can discard. And that's important since all of your fusions discard. And the best one to do this with is XYZ Dragon Cannon because it doesn't discriminate to what it can destroy. So if you have that set up and you have XYZ Dragon Cannon, you can destroy your opponent's whole field, no matter how many things. Because it's not once per turn. None of the fusions are once per turn. So if you have this, having a non-once per turn destruction together with like an unlimited amount of resources to discard, that just makes that you can completely go off. And that's just amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And the biggest power play that I think any deck, any of the best deck has in this format. Then going to the back row, 3 Book of Moon, because I just think it's the best card both offensively and defensively in this format that we have, and you need to play something defensively, and this is just the most diverse card with the most uses in this format. So definitely play 3 Book of Moon, 2 Foolish Burial. For more consistency, you would play 3, but the problem is, even though you really want to see this turn 1 to be able to set up if you don't see Union Hanger, the second one onwards is usually a dead card. Just like with Union Hanger, the consistency cards become dead cards later in the game, where you do get a lot. And sure, discarding those with your fusions is nice, but you'd rather have something that's live, that you have the options to actually play the card and just choose what you want, what you will discard. But too bad. So we just play 2, which is in between having the third dead copy later in the game, where you definitely go, and seeing them as much as possible the first few games. You can discard you can send Night Assailant with this or any of your pieces. It's great for those uses. 3 Union Hangers. It's basically like a rota for this deck. You can search these two. You can't search X-Head Cannon, sadly, because it needs to be a Light Machine Union monster from your deck to your hand. And once per turn, if a Light Machine Union monster is normal or special summoned, you can equip an appropriate Light Machine Fusion. The only card that you can equip with this is Z to Y. That's the only thing you can do, but it's still a good play to do. And then the last card, Union Scramble, target up to 3 of your banished Light Machine normal or Union monsters, so all of your XYZ guys. Special summon them. During either player's turn, except the turn it was sent to the graveyard, so not in the same turn basically, you can banish it from the grave to target 1 banished Light Machine, Union, or normal, and take that back to your hand. So that gives you extra fodder and stuff. So what is your ideal opening with this deck turn 1? You ideally open 1 Union Hanger, 1 Union Scramble, activate Union Hanger, like let's say activate Union Hanger, take White Dragon, equip Z Metal Tank, banish Boat, summon YZ Tank Cannon Dragon, set Union Scramble with that. During your opponent's turn you activate Union Scramble, get back those 2 guys, effect of Union Hanger, equip the Z Metal Tank to it. So that's in your opponent's end phase. This is all set up. Your White Dragon hand is now 2-1 and you still have a Z Metal Tank. If your opponent didn't get over Tank Dragon Cannon, which is 2200, and like if you go first, getting over this is like, not a lot of decks can do that. I think almost no deck can do that in turn 1. Except if Inner Conflict goes aggressive and immediately pays her 2000, but that's ideal for you because you'll no longer have to worry about Inner Conflict then for the rest of the game. Yeah, that's all they can do against this. And then during your turn, you can banish those again if you want. You can go for the Equip and White Dragon Head. Summon another one that you have 2 of these on the field. And with Union Scramble, you can take one. You can banish it from the graveyard to take any of them back. If you have a Foolish Burial or something, you can also like use your skill to go into XYZ Dragon Cannon or something already immediately. So definitely the best opening. It's the strongest starter card we have, together with one of the best extra power plays. And it's just insane. It's the reason why this deck is so good, because of that play. Then for the side deck, we play 2 Cosmic Cyclone. This is against stall decks, burn decks. We try to cover as much base as possible. A lot of rogue decks that we can prepare for with these other cards suffer under Cosmic Cyclone, so definitely a good card to have there. 2 Offerings to the Doomed. This is my answer to Inner Conflict. I was just thinking, like, ideally I want to play Blast Hell by Tribute, because destroying their monsters is important, and Blast Hell by because they won't be able to tribute them anymore, they won't be able to pressure you anymore, and they can defend their monsters with Sphere Karibo and all of their back row if you just destroy them. So that seemed like the best solution, and I want to play Blast Hell by Tribute, because it's a tribute deck, it's an obvious thing, but ideally it's a great card, it's the best card against the deck, but in reality, in practice, you never get there. Blowback Dragon, Jinzo, Breaker, Night Beam. There's so many cards, Cosmic Cyclones that they might side against you as well. There's so many cards that they have that just immediately take away that situation, and that Blast has achieved nothing. That is just a bad card to side in. It's just a wasted card. And you might always think like, oh, he said 2 and he destroyed that one. And like, oh, I'm so unlucky. No, you just need to play another card. It's that simple. Except for Night Beam or Cosmic Cyclone in turn 1. Offerings is always alive. You can always do something. Breaker, okay, then you just destroy the Breaker. Easy, then you just do that one. Grand Mark, Blowback Dragon, okay, then you just destroy those cards. Easy. A Jinzo, same thing. You just destroy the Jinzo then. In all of those situations, and their field is open again, they will have to use their back row to defend themselves again. They won't be able to keep him back because you, as I said, like the play that I just described, you're in lethal range already. So they don't have the luxury to actually keep their monsters to themselves. They'll have to start using their trap monsters and stuff for their defense, and you're already starting to pound down on them. So this is an ideal. And skipping the draw phase, I hated it last format because it put you in such awkward positions where you were like, it's game anyway because I don't have any monsters to defend myself. But because, as I just said with this deck, you have so many ways to access your monster again, or to like be self-sufficient, or like use your skill to summon a fusion. There's so many things you can do that the draw phase is, of course, still a harsh drawback. That's why I don't main it, but it's doable. You can definitely, especially against something like Inner Conflict, who, if you have destroyed him, isn't pressuring you that much anymore. This is fine. And then 2 Lost Winds as the final card as side against the mirror, because I think this is the best side deck card against XYZ. So yeah, that's basically it. This is the deck. For the extra deck, I think this is mostly self-explaining. Let's go over it real quick. XYZ Dragon Cannon, just because you play one of each at least. 1 XYZ Dragon Cannon, your power play, insane. I just explained what the biggest power play with this is, so yeah. This is in my opinion the best one. XYZ Tank Cannon, 2400 matches all of the monarchs, quote unquote. And its effect is that you can discard 1 card to destroy a face down spell or trap card. So yeah, being able to just clean your opponent's back row, that you no longer have to worry about all of that, like about Lost Winds, about Book of Moons, about all of that, that's great. 2100 defense as well, so in a lot of departments this thing just rocks. And YZ Tank Cannon and Tank Dragon. This is not the best one. It destroys a face down monster, so together this is like the best thing to go aggressively, these two together. But YZ Tank Dragon has the big advantage where you might want to play 3 of those. As soon as you open Union Hanger, you already have all the materials for this. You can banish like the equipped Z Metal Tank. It doesn't need to be like a monster. It can be an equipped spell at the time because it just says cards. So yeah. And that's it. That's basically it. Then the little story at the end. Shoutouts first of all to Lucas, because we faced each other a few times, and we faced each other in top 4 yesterday, and we had the most amazing game. He was playing the spiciest of decks. He was playing a Masked Beast deck and managed to get to top 4 with it, as I'm saying. And the sad thing is, game 1 was amazing. It was such a good grind game, and he took it out. He took it. It was that good. The second game, I took another good grind game where we ended up like just finishing it there. And both of these he was able to play. I was able to play. The third game, he had a little bit less luck. He didn't have anything to play with. He got some loose pieces that he couldn't do anything with. I am in my turn, and I'm basically going to make game. He said he still had some Sphere Cribbers in his hand, but he said like it didn't matter because after that I wouldn't really be able to do a lot anyway. And I disconnect. Usually this would be a loss, and I would only be here with a top 4 deck list, and would probably... Yeah, according to Lucas, he would probably... There's a big chance he might have lost the finals, and we would have just been covering like an Inner Conflict deck right now. But I won that one because he said like, yo, I don't need this win. I don't need to take like a win like this. I know how the finals are probably going to go. Like, I know that this duel was already pretty much decided. You just take it, bro. You just take it. Like, biggest respect. That day, Lucas earned more respect than I did, in my opinion. And shoutouts again to Gian and Ryan Atlas for helping me test XYZ. And yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like test this format. It's great. It's amazing. We're going for those top spots. We're gonna get as much top cut spots as we can get. And hope to see you soon again with another winning deck profile. Bye, guys. This Card Game Philosopher out.
Adidas, Krasovki.